Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm cooking a dish from my Chinese Made Easy cookbook. This came out January this year, so we're in 2025 at the moment, just in case you're watching this in a couple of years' time. It's a really simple dish. It all happens just in the pan. So if you can see, I've got a pot of boiling water going on at the moment. This is my play on a Korean tteokbokki recipe. Okay, and I say this is my play is because we're using Doubanjiang chili bean paste instead. I do cook a lot with the Gochujang chili paste, and I really enjoy the flavour. But every now and then I need to, just inject that little bit of Chinese back into the dishes. So first of all, we're just going to use, these are frozen chopped rice cakes or tteokbokki. You might know them as Korean. I'm going to add roughly maybe a cup and a half of these into the boiling water, and they are still sticking together because they are still frozen. That should be enough for a couple of us, I think, because they will swell ever so slightly. I'll just grab my spoon and I'll just get the heat back up again. Now once this liquid comes back up to a simmer or a boil, I'll start adding some flavourings. Okay, we're back up to a simmer again. I've just turned it down. Now I've kept these stirring. Now the reason being is that I'm using a really heavy cast iron pot, and they will stick to the bottom. So I've just kept nudging them around just to make sure they're not sticking on the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to get my spring onions now, because obviously the spring onions there just to sort of like subtly flavour the soup or the broth. Okay, so we'll get that in now. And with that, I'm going to add some of my fish cakes, and these are just fish cakes that I've chopped in half. Again, these are just store cupboard supplies that I keep in my freezer. Now to try and get some of that flavour into this. So I'm going to add some chicken powder, and probably not all of that actually. Originally, I was going to cook this to the recipe, which says about 4 people, but I thought there's no point because Joe can't eat it because it's got the Doubanjiang in it, which has got wheat in it. So I'm going to add roughly half of this chicken powder. So in that can go. I'm going to add some Korean chili powder. You can, of course, just use any chili powder that you've got. So in that goes. About half again, because again, this is slightly less. This is slightly less than the recipe sort of like would call for normally. Some sugar. I think sort of like the sugar just helps balance the dish. So in goes some sugar, and about half of what I've got again. I'm going to get my honey in now actually. So this is just honey. I'm going to put all of this in because I do like the sweetness from the honey. And last, but by all means no least, is my Doubanjiang and chili bean paste. And I'm going to add maybe 2/3 of what I've got on this little dish here. Now, once you've given it a good stir, you can literally just leave it to simmer for around about 5 minutes. These rice cakes are fantastic, and they cook literally in about 2 or 3 minutes. You can buy the dried rice cakes, and you will need to pre-soak those if you're going to use them, and they take roughly anywhere between half an hour and 2 hours, I've found, depending on how thick they are, just to soften in water, and then obviously you cook them through. My rice cakes now have been cooking for about 6 or 7 minutes, just on a gentle simmer. You can see that they've plumped right up compared to what they were like, and also the fish cake has plumped right up too. I can switch off the heat at this point. Just grab my plate, and we're going to serve in this lovely bowl that I've got. And just to finish this off, I'm I'm going to add some of my soy sauce eggs. Now, I only made these eggs earlier today. Normally you would leave them for at least 12 hours before eating, ideally overnight, but really don't have the patience today. So there is a recipe on my Instagram if you'd like to head over there. They're dead simple. These are called Taiwanese eggs, and they're just in a sweet soy marinade, and they're boiled to perfection, I think. So these are boiled for 6.5 minutes and then plunged straight into cold water. And there we have it. My spicy Korean rice cakes, but made with Doubanjiang chili paste. Give it a go. Really simple, really tasty, and cooks in one pot. It's so delicious. It's spicy. Sweetness is coming through from that honey and sugar. And that Doubanjiang is amazing chili paste. Of course, you can go for the standard Gochugaru, Gochujang Korean chili paste, but this is so good. Please give it a go, guys. If you like these videos, they'll be dropping every Thursday on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or hit that notification bell. Well, like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Be really appreciated. And I'll be sharing recipes over the next 3 months really of my favorite noodle type dishes. So yeah, well worth a watch, I think. Enjoy.